Welcome to the online grant and opportunity application system for the New Hampshire State Council on the Arts, located at nharts.submittable.com. This is Chinny Lupi. This tutorial will walk you through the Arts in Health Artist Roster program. It assumes that you've already created a free account at submittable.com and have logged into the system. When you log into the system, you will see some variant of this homepage depending on which grants and opportunities are live at the time you log in. You want to find your opportunity and click on it, and the application will open. Grant and opportunity programs differ from each other and sometimes change from year to year, so please read the full guidelines found on our website before you start your application. You might also want to read the How to Use the Online Application System document. The deadline for this program is 11:59 p.m. Friday, May 20th. That means that this application will disappear at that time. You should also know that staff assistance for this program will only be available until 4 p.m. that day. Another important thing to remember about these applications is that they are only live for 21 days from the last time you worked on it. So if you're starting your application early, please make sure you come back within 3 weeks' time, or you will lose all of your work. You're going to want to save your application periodically as you're working on it. And to do that, you want to scroll all the way down to the application and click the Save Draft button. Submittable is very stable, but we do recommend that you try to save your work every 15 minutes or so. There is a difference between saving your work and submitting it. You will need to click this blue Submit button when you are ready to submit your application. So, let's walk through the application. It is very simple and straightforward and very easy to use. You're going to enter your contact information here. Any field that has a red asterisk next to it is required, and the system will not let you submit your application if any of those required fields are left blank. So please make sure that you fill everything out. You want to tell us about your experience. You want to choose as many of these as are appropriate. Tell us in this text box if you have other experience that's not listed above. You want to tell us when you started working professionally, whether you're on other rosters, if you've ever received an artist fellowship or a Governor's Arts Award from us. You also want to list your references, and it's very important that you list them here, even if they are on your resume. You want to make sure you list all of your references here and all the required information. And then your references are going to need to fill out a recommendation form, and there is a link here to download those forms so you can send them to your references. Again, all of this information is in the guidelines, so hopefully by the time you get to this point, you've already done this. You've already sent those forms to your references. So all the reference information here for 3 references, and then if you have additional references, you can upload a document. And so there are a couple of places where you can upload documents. This is the first one in this application. And this upload area works the same way attaching a file to an email works, or uploading a photograph to Instagram or Facebook. You click the Choose Files button. A dialog box will open that will allow you to find the file on your computer, and then you will choose it to attach it. We accept different file types here, but we do prefer PDF because there won't be any possibility that your formatting could be changed. You're also going to have to choose a code for the primary art discipline of your work. And this is a very comprehensive list here with all sorts of artistic disciplines. And so you want to choose the one that most closely relates to your work. You're only going to choose one code. There are a series of narrative questions that are outlined in the guidelines, and you are definitely going to want to answer every single one of those questions in the order that they are presented to you. Save that document and then attach it to your application. Again, we prefer PDF files, but we will accept Microsoft Word and rich text files here. There are a list of supporting materials that are included in the guidelines. What is listed here may not be complete, so don't rely on this list. Make sure that you check the guidelines very carefully. Check off that you've got all of the documents that you need. So the supporting materials do include work samples, but if you have a website that shows us your arts and healthcare work, or you have a Creative Ground profile, you can add that link to your narrative. There's also a place in the contact information for your website URL. If you don't have the ability to submit your work samples digitally, either by giving us a URL or by attaching work samples here, you can mail them to our office, but they can't be postmarked any later than the application deadline. So that's very, very important. If you are uploading work samples here, we really, really prefer that you bundle all of those files together into one zip file. And if you look at our website, there are instructions on how to zip up files if you are not sure how to do that. But again, please make sure that you have double-checked the guidelines to make sure that you have a complete list, because there are a number of forms. There's a background check disclosure form. You need to create an identification sheet for your work samples if you're going to be uploading them here, etc. And finally, the last part of the application is this certification. This is your electronic signature. Read this statement, click Agree, and then click the blue Submit button. If for some reason the system will not let you submit your application, chances are that you didn't fill out a required field. So go back, look at your application, and then click Submit. Once your application is submitted to us, you will receive a confirmation email almost immediately. And inside that email will be a link to take you back to Submittable so that you can print your application. We strongly encourage you to print your application. Once your application has been received, staff members here will look at it to make sure that it's accurate and complete. If there's anything missing or if there's anything that needs to be changed, someone will contact you. And then your application will be reviewed by a peer panel and decisions will be made. So I hope that this has been helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions at all about our online system. Thanks.